Hi everyone, welcome to Saturday Craft. I wonder if you've watched this week's story video yet. I think it's a really cool story. Go and have a watch. It's all about King Nebuchadnezzar, who had a really strange dream. Daniel had to figure out what that dream was. He didn't know. He had to ask God to help him. And do you remember? Daniel asked his friends to help him pray as well. That's a really cool thing, to pray for your friends. So today we are making some prayer hands. They look like this. So it's two hands, and in the middle is a little book of bits of paper, each one to remind us to pray for a particular person. So for this craft you need 2 pieces of paper or card. Card is better if you've got card. I chose 2 different colours because I thought that would look quite cool. You need a pencil and a pair of scissors. You need something to make a hole. If you've got a hole punch in your house like this one, that is perfect. If not, you might need to ask a grown-up to help you make that hole. And then you just need a little piece of string or wool or something like that to tie it together. So let's have a look at how we can make it. Okay, so let's get started making our prayer hands. So I'm going to start by drawing around my hands. I'm going to use a pencil because I don't want to get pen all around the edge of my hands. You'll probably find that there's one hand you can draw around really easily, no problem, and the other one you have some trouble because you're using the wrong hand. That's okay. Start with the one you find nice and easy. That's what I'm going to do. There we go, one hand, really easy. Now when it comes to the other one, you've got some options. You could get someone to help you draw around your hand. You could just give it a go. Some people can do it fine. Some people find it a bit trickier. So you could get someone to help you. You could just draw around the same hand again though, and then when you cut it out, you can flip it the other way up so it looks like the other hand. That's what I'm going to do. Got to be careful to make sure I don't overlap the first one. There we go. 2 hands on my piece of paper, and now I'm going to cut them out. There we go, 2 hands cut out, and then I can just flip that one over and it's like I've drawn around both of my hands. Clever little trick if you're finding that a bit difficult. Okay, so now I need to make some cards to go inside my praying hands. Remember, these are going to go together like this, like your hands would if you were saying a prayer. And then in the middle, we're going to put some cards, and each card is going to be a different person to pray for. So I've got a piece of yellow to go inside, and I'm going to start by doing a little bit of measuring because I want my cards to fit inside. So I'm just going to have a look, and my hand is about 8 centimetres wide. So I'm going to make each of my little cards inside 8 centimetres wide. It doesn't really matter how tall they are. There we go. I'm making them kind of like that. You don't have to be super accurate or super precise with this. There we go. That gives me 3 cards to go inside, and now I'm going to cut those out too. Okay, so now we're going to put a hole through. So I'm going to get my 2 hands like they are going to be praying, and I'm going to put my 3 little cards in the middle, close my hands up like that. You might need to get a grown-up to help. If you've got a hole punch, that is perfect. That's what I'm using. If not, get a grown-up to help you with making a hole. And I'm hoping I'm going to be able to put it all in my hole punch at once. I think that might be a bit ambitious, but we'll see what happens. Oh my goodness. Well, it was a little bit tough, but it did go through everything, and now I know it's all lined up. Okay, so now you just need to attach them together. I've just got a little bit of string for that. I'm going to put it through all of the holes. Get someone to help you if it's a bit fiddly. It is a little bit tricky. And then I'm just going to tie it together. I'm not going to do it very tight though. If I pull it really tight like that, I'm not going to be able to open this up again in a minute. A good thing to do is if you've got a nice thick pen like this, put the pen in to where you're tying your knot as well. Tie it round, and then you can take the pen out and you have a nice loose knot that lets these bits of paper move around. And I'm just going to trim off the ends. So now I'm nearly done. I've just got to decide on which people I'm going to put inside my praying hands. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write a name on the top of each sheet, and then I need to go and ask that person what it is that they want me to pray for them that week. There we go. Here are my finished prayer hands, and I've started to write some things inside to remind me to pray for people this week. So what I'm going to do with my prayer hands is I'm going to put them in the place I usually say my prayers. Don't know where that is for you. Maybe you say some prayers in bed before you go to sleep each night. Or maybe you say some prayers before you eat your dinner. But put it somewhere where you remember, and when you go to say your prayers, have a look through and say a prayer for each thing inside. It can be difficult to know sometimes how many different pieces of paper to put inside your hands, but 3 or 4 is a good number. It's a good number of people to pray for. It's hard to remember to pray for 20 or 30 people, isn't it? It takes a long time, and then sometimes we rush our prayers rather than taking time over them. So it's good to pick a few people, 3 or 4 is really good, who you can pray for this week. I hope you enjoyed making that Saturday craft, and I'll see you tomorrow for Family Sunday. Bye!